guys? It's Naseem here. Now, before we start, I wanted to have a moment of silence with you guys because I'm sorry to tell you that the Galaxy S22 is still the best Galaxy phone that you can get in 2022. There, I said it. And I say this because even after 4 months of use, the S22 Plus is the one phone that has the most balance within the S22 lineup. It has a nice flat display, it has a durable build, it has a good battery, and it has a powerful processor. And even though I will often try to pick up the S22 Ultra whenever I could, since it is a better phone on the spec sheet, I always ended up picking up my S22 Plus more because there wasn't one issue that I would say bothered me. And despite it being the most balanced in the lineup, it has amazing durability and still performs just as well as the first day I got it. And that's why I would recommend this one to most people. Now in my previous video, I noted that I would get around 5 to 8 hours of on-screen time and would end my day with about 15% battery left, which was pretty good. Now, as of today, my average on-screen time is 3 to 4 hours since I haven't been on my phone as much, but the numbers are still really good. I will end my day with about 30 to 40% battery left, and on some days I will use my phone for longer, and it was still able to last me a full day. I didn't do as much gaming as I used to, but I did watch a lot of YouTube. I also spent a ton of time on social media, and whenever I use my friend's car, I will use the GPS. And charging was pretty fast. It took me about an hour and 15 minutes to go from 3% to 100% when I tested it out. I will usually charge my phone overnight, but when I'm on the road or at work, I would take my 45 watt fast charger with me, and it helps whenever I need a quick charge. Now my phone's battery health was at 98%, which was pretty good since I did game on it a lot. And overall, I think Samsung phones have gotten a lot better when it comes to overall battery health, and the S22 pretty much proves that. And now the S22 Plus has a 6.6 inch dynamic AMOLED display that was still able to hold up to its great quality. It feels really smooth, and the 120Hz display helped improve my overall experience with it. And one thing that I wanted to address was that many people don't want to give the S22 Plus's display credit because unlike the S22 Ultra, it's 1080p, and even though it doesn't sound as appealing on the spec sheet, I will say that as someone who has used this phone, the display still looks really good. The resolution looks sharp. Whenever I was watching YouTube, playing games, and scrolling through the OS, I still got the same enjoyment and smoothness as I would with the S22 Ultra. The size was also one of the things that I still loved when it came to the overall viewing experience. It mixed in well with the vibrance of the screen. The whites weren't as bright as the S22 Ultra, but they were good compared to the average phone in this price range. The brightness was still good. Whenever I was at work, I would turn up the brightness and I was able to see very well. The S22 Plus even has an extreme brightness mode for whenever you're in direct sunlight, but the screen was already really bright, so I rarely used it. But besides that, I wanted to give you guys an example of different games and videos that I was playing to show you how good the display is.
2 for 1 here if you want it. Andre knows that. So does Steph. But there's the free one. Reddish not reaching. Trying to move his feet. Curry 3. It's everywhere. Vanderbilt on the kick out. Steph is through. One man to beat the Angelo. That's no two.
Now when it comes to software, I will say that the S22 Plus held up pretty well as always, but one thing that I will say about the updates is that it caused my phone to crash from time to time. Not all the time, but from time to time. Now this problem has been happening for the past month, and it happens to me about once or twice every week. I'll be on Twitter or Instagram, and the app will crash at the most random time, which had me a bit paranoid at times. But besides that, I would say that the overall smoothness is still there. The One UI still has the best customization out of any phone in the US, and I love that I was still able to keep it fresh and new thanks to the many different things that I could do with the interface. I was also really impressed with how well it was able to run power heavy apps. There were rarely any lags, and I was able to run many games on the Ultra settings and keep that sharp feel. And now the camera on the S22 Plus is my favorite piece of hardware because I really loved how much they improved with selfies and capturing people of color. Like right here, when we look at the selfies I took, my skin tone was much more accurate when compared to the previous phones that Samsung had produced. The camera was able to let in a lot of light as well as handle more harsh environments, but if I could improve one thing about the selfie camera, I would say that it could tone down the sharpness and add in more natural elements. Now when it comes to how the S22 Plus handled different objects and environments, I would say that this is where the sharpness was better. Like right here, you can see that it makes the whole pictures more sharp and clean. It adds depth, but not too much to the point where it's overkill. and many of the photos that I took left me very satisfied. They weren't as good as the Pixel 6 series, but they were definitely in that ballpark. And now when it comes to video quality, this is where the S22 Plus has seen a major upgrade when it comes to last year's version. The stabilization was better, the videos were much more vibrant, and the sharpness gave off a nice balance. And to show you guys what I mean, here's an example of a video that I took with the S22 Plus. Now the dual speakers on the S22 Plus were really good whenever I was listening to music or whenever I was watching a video. I really loved that I could play them anywhere and the quality didn't drop a bit, which was really refreshing. The bass was also something that I loved about the speakers. Like whenever I would play one of my gym songs, the bass hit harder than most smartphones. And something else that I loved about the bass was the overall sound quality. There were even times where I would watch a video out loud just because of how good they sounded. And the last thing that I loved about the speakers was just how loud they were. And to give you guys an idea of that, here's a speaker test.
Guys, but boy, you would hope though by drafting a guy number 2 overall that he would be a star. As Bryant drains a 3, his first points of the night. Well, in the way that really is his offensive game, that shot right there would be good as a statue. As he gets his 4th basket, 12 points. Trying to get rid of Dunleavy. The timer's at 4. Bryant spinning, now fires and gets the bounce. He worked hard for that one, didn't he?
And alright, you guys. Here's my final question. Should you buy the Galaxy S22 Plus in 2022? Well, if I'm being honest, I would say yes because you're getting a really good phone that will last you a very long time. The S22 Plus had no major downfalls even after 4 months of use, and again, I would say that it's the most well-balanced Samsung phone that you can get in 2022. And there it is, my review on the Galaxy S22 Plus after 4 months of use. Now let me know that in the comments. Would you get the S22 Plus over the S22 Ultra or even the S22? Let me know. And if you guys made it to the end of this video, I would like to say thank you for sticking around. And don't forget to like the video and subscribe. It will be very appreciated. And as far as social media, you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram. And I will see you guys on the next one. Peace.